I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Welcome back to Seamwork Radio, where we share practical ideas for building a creative process so you can sew with intention and joy. Today, we're talking about how to sew holiday clothing that you'll actually want to wear beyond December. We'll cover 5 smart strategies for creating festive pieces that transition beautifully into your everyday wardrobe, specific pattern ideas that work perfectly for this approach, and how to think differently about special occasion sewing so every garment you make becomes a wardrobe workhorse. All right, so let's start with our icebreaker for today. Haley, tell me about a time when you made something special for an event, but then were surprised by how much you ended up wearing it afterwards.
Okay. So this isn't like the core garment, but I feel like it's in the spirit. I made this sheer dress for a party that I was going to, and I realized when I tried it on afterwards that I didn't really have like a slip that quite worked for it. So then I had to make a slip to match. And I still wear this slip all the time. It's one of my favorite slips. I made it from a stretch charmeuse. And it's like the perfect like pinky champagne tone that matches my skin tone really well. I love it. I know it's not like the core special like event garment, but it is like a serious workhorse for me.
Oh, that sounds cool. I think that counts.
It counts, right? What about you?
Well, the one that came to mind for me, I made this for several years ago for one of our holiday parties. And it was a black mini dress in it was like a jacquard fabric, black mini dress. I think it had some sparkle to it a little bit. And it was our Kennedy pattern.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Little mini dress. And then it has ties on the back at the neckline. And I added these really cute faux fur pom-poms to the ends of the ties. And it was very, very cute, very wintry. And then afterwards, I removed the pom-poms and it became very wearable for maybe not every day, but for, going out to dinner and stuff like that.
Cute.
And you could wear it with tights and it didn't look quite so Santa Claus-y, I guess. Mrs. Claus-y.
Or Santa baby.
Yeah. But it was very cute for the holidays. So that's another thing you can think about. It's just removable details that you can add for holiday festivities. All right. Well, if you have an icebreaker question for us and you want to give it to us for a future episode, you can leave it in a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and we'll answer it in a future show. All right. Well, let's talk about our topic for today. So I get really excited about sewing for the holidays, but then I often end up with all these really beautiful garments that just hang in my closet for months afterwards. I was actually looking in my closet just this morning trying to find this dress, not realizing that it was in my suitcase that I brought to a video filming day last week. So I was like tearing through my closet and I realized I have so many really lovely fancy dresses that I've made that don't get a lot of wear because they are so fancy. And, I have like this really pretty velvet dress that I made a few years ago for a holiday party. And I've worn it maybe once or twice since then. And it's really beautiful, but it feels really specific to fancy events. And I just never really reached for it. And I think this kind of used to take, at least for a while, took some of the joy out of holiday sewing for me because I'd invest all this time and energy into something that just felt almost like it was disposable. And it started to feel kind of wasteful, both of my time and then also of my fabric. And so over the years, I've learned to approach holiday sewing a little bit differently. And instead of thinking about what do I need for this one event, I've started asking, what can I make that will really bring me joy for months to come and that will fit for this event? So it's actually made me a lot more excited about holiday sewing because now I'm creating pieces that really earn their place in my wardrobe and also in my schedule, which, I don't have tons of time or all the time in the world to sew. So I want to make things that I'm actually going to wear, especially because I'm trying to create a wardrobe that's 80% handmade. So Haley, do you have any holiday garments that really you still wear?
I have to confess that I am actually horrible at this. I just love sewing special occasion things, and I feel like there's not very many opportunities to like go all out, and so in the past I've really like committed to the bit for holiday things. But this year, I have some more social things on my calendar, and I am going to make like a little velvet dress, but I've also been thinking about how I can incorporate some separates to get some more bang for my buck.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to look at it. I feel like I haven't really leaned into separates that much for holidays because I really like sewing a little dress.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I've been thinking about for this season in particular.
What about you? Do you have any holiday garments that became like an unexpected favorite?
I think there are a few. One of the things I made for the holidays that I really love is my tailor dress, which is a wrap dress with long sleeves. And I made it in a Lady McElroy fabric that has like it's black with really large flowers and snakes and insects all over it. It's really cool. And that kind of became a favorite for a while. I wore that a lot that winter after I made it. So I had the intention of making that for the holidays, but also something that I could wear after the holidays. And I think that turned out really, really well. So I don't know if it was unexpected, but it's one of those pieces that definitely ended up standing the test of time a little bit more than some of the fancier things I've made.
What usually motivates you to start thinking about your holiday sewing?
I start thinking about it like summer. To be honest, I love sparkle. I love sparkly things. And I feel like it's your chance to wear some sparkle for holiday parties, for New Year's parties. It's just a lot of fun. And so I don't know, I start thinking about it pretty early, honestly. And I just start bookmarking cool fabrics. Right now I have a Pinterest board that has like metallic linens on it and a metallic kind of organza type fabric that I'm thinking about using. So honestly, I really start with fabrics most of the time because I like a very simple design with a fancy fabric for a lot of my more special occasion type sewing. That's kind of a look that I really like. So I guess I would say that I start early and I start with fabric.
Yeah.
What about you?
I also start early. I think that something that gets me thinking about it and inspired is usually we're finishing up the development on our winter patterns in the late summer. And so usually we have a couple things in there that I'm like, ooh, that would be cute.
Yeah.
And I start kind of dreaming it up. I'm also kind of simultaneously thinking of like our photo shoots and how we can translate some of the garments for like a special occasion and outside of a special occasion. So that gets my the gears turning, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself gravitating towards a certain type of garment during the holiday season?
Definitely short dresses.
Same.
That's what I like. Although I have made, I mentioned the tailor dress. I also made a Frankie dress a few years ago. And so those are more of like a knee length style. But I do like a really cute little mini dress, I think is perfect for the holidays and something that is easy to wear and comfortable. Also, if you're going out to dinner or something like that, it's nice to be able to have something that gives you a little room around the middle. So I like a shift dress.
Same. And I like to wear tights to keep warm. And I feel like for me personally, in my short frame, that I like the look of that with shorter hemlines. I have like two modes when it comes to dresses. I want them really long or really short, and I don't do a lot in the middle.
Yeah, I love a short dress. I love a mini skirt. I love a short dress for sure.
Well, let's get into some of these tips because we have some really great ones today. I will kick us off with tip number 1, which is to make a party top instead of a dress. So instead of committing to a full dress, try sewing a gorgeous top in a festive fabric that you can really style multiple ways. This is going to give you so much more flexibility. You can wear it with a skirt for parties and then pair it with jeans for date night or even dress it down with casual trousers. Here are some ideas that I think would work really beautifully. Our free Hansi pattern sewn in silk velvet would be amazing. Hansi has this wonderful loose fit with a cap sleeve that really lets a luxurious fabric shine. You could wear it with a midi skirt to a holiday party and then throw it on with your favorite jeans for like a really elevated casual look. The Danielle blouse in a metallic fabric would also be stunning. It has that lovely ruffled detail along the V neckline. And I think the way that it would catch the light would be so beautiful and sparkly. The key is choosing a silhouette that's versatile, but making it special with your fabric choice. Sari, have you ever made a top that surprised you with how much wear you got out of it?
Like a party top?
Yeah.
I would say I don't make a lot of party tops, but I think it's a really good idea. You mentioned that Danielle top, and I had this vintage top bookmarked on Etsy for a while that was a silver lame fabric with like ruffles, kind of like the Danielle top is. It was a slightly different style, but kind of like a poet blouse from the 90s, but in a silver lame. And I know that sounds kind of hideous, but it was really pretty, and they'd styled it with jeans, and I thought it looked really cool. And I think something like that would be really amazing. That's something that I've been thinking about making for myself personally. And I think it'd be great for the holidays, and then you could wear it with jeans later on.
I love that idea.
The next one is, and I really like this idea, create a matching set that you can then separate later. So instead of a dress, what about a two-piece set that you can wear together for maximum impact, but then use as separates throughout the year? I love this idea. And I think this is like getting 3 outfits in one. You get the complete set, which might look like a suit or it might look like a dress. But then you get each piece on its own, which seems a lot more wearable for everyday wear. So I really like the idea of the auto vest and the Aran trousers and a really beautiful suiting fabric. I think that would just be absolutely beautiful and stunning. And then you could wear them apart later. They just look really sophisticated if you're going to like a holiday work party or something, especially with some fancy jewelry. But then I could imagine with like a big brooch on it. Wouldn't that be just like so cool? But then you could wear the vest over just a simple tee and trousers with a crisp white shirt later, and it would look very down to earth. So another option, I can picture like the wide leg merit pants with the west button up, which is very relaxed. And it would have this kind of really beautiful flowing sort of Ingrid Bergman kind of elegance. That would be really beautiful for the holidays, but then transition into your regular rotation really well too. So I think the magic is really in choosing pieces that complement each other, but also have strong standalone potential at the same time. And there's a lot of different ways you could do this. You could do a dress with a jacket. You could do a mini skirt with a cool like boxy jacket. You could do all kinds of stuff and then separate them out later. I really like the idea of like a simple pair of pants and like a loose top in like a really cool brocade fabric or something like that, or even taffeta. That would be, or like a moire or something like that. Would be so pretty.
Yeah, I love a matching set. Something that could be worn together and separate was the inspiration behind the auto vest and the Aran trousers. So that is a perfect match for this idea, in my opinion, at least. Our next idea is to use removable details for like an instant dash of festiveness, kind of like Sari's Kennedy dress with the fur pom-poms. This is one of my favorite tricks because it can let you transform a really simple garment into something that's special without like committing to a permanent embellishment. You could make something like the Reed shift dress and add a vintage beaded or lace collar and then take it off later. The dress becomes this perfect kind of canvas that you can dress up or down, or you could try adding a vintage applique to the fig cardigan with just like a couple of hand stitches that you can easily remove later. I also think like fig with an applique and then just like worn with jeans later would be stunning. And things like vintage collars and appliques and stuff you can easily find on places like Etsy. I love browsing things like that. I think I like to think of it like having like a costume jewelry approach with your garments. You can add sparkle when you want it, but then kind of return it to the classic version when the moment calls for something that's a little bit simpler.
Yeah, I mentioned doing this with the Kennedy dress, those faux fur pom-poms on it, and I really like that, and this year I'm actually thinking about making a faux fur detachable collar to wear over coats and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So easy. I saw one from by Maylene Berger, and I thought it was so cool. It's like very big and pointed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know how it closes, but you could just do like a large hook and eye at the
Mm-hmm.
throat and wear it over pretty much everything. Plus, it keeps you warm.
Or a
So,
frog.
yeah, or a little frog. You could do all kinds of stuff with removable details like that. So, that's something I really want to play with more this winter. The next one is to embrace the power of the little black dress. I think a well made black dress is honestly one of the best investments you can make in your wardrobe if you like black, especially for holiday sewing. I love black. I wear a lot of black, and I think it's a really great choice for holiday party sewing if that's something that you're into. The beauty is that you can really transform the look with accessories. So you can add statement jewelry for parties, you can throw on a blazer for work, you can layer it under a cardigan for casual wear. I mean, there's a reason that the little black dress is a closet staple and has been for decades and decades. I think the Reed shift dress would really be perfect for this because it has that high neckline in front. And that's just like a blank canvas for necklaces or for scarves, for any kind of accessory that you want to add. Or for something with more drama, the Sloan dress would be really beautiful in black silk or rayon. So it has this very simple, elegant shape, but then it has these very big balloon statement sleeves that give it so much presence. And you could wear it to a holiday party with heels and bold earrings, and then you could style it with ankle boots and a denim jacket for a completely different vibe. I think the key is just choosing a silhouette that feels special, but not overly themed to any particular occasion. And then you'll have a dress that you can wear again and again in different ways.
Yeah, it's a classic, like you said, for a reason. So easy to style. Speaking of things that I find to be easy to style is a fantastic little sweater dress, particularly like a luxurious sweater dress for holiday parties. I really love sweater dresses because they give you kind of that perfect combination of comfort and sophistication. There's something that's so appealing about feeling like you're wearing like the coziest thing in your closet while still looking really polished and put together for an event.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I love sweater dresses. I made a Greer dress in this really beautiful taupe gray wool knit last year. And it's definitely one of my most worn pieces in the colder months. It just feels like wearing a warm hug, but then it looks really chic. It's like long, it goes to my ankles. It has a little bit of a trumpet flare to the skirt, it has a little bit of flare to the sleeves. Very dramatic, but at the same time, super, super comfortable.
Yeah, I love the Greer for like like a longer midi length sweater dress. If you prefer something that's a little bit shorter, the Jones dress is another fantastic option. It has the more like wrap front detail and it hits just above the knees. And I find it to be like really flattering and versatile. You could also make one in a rich jewel tone for the holidays. But because the silhouette is so classic, I think that it's something that you may find yourself reaching for all winter long. Plus, sweater dresses are really perfect for layering. So you can style them with different cardigans, scarves, layer them over turtlenecks and really get a lot of wear out of it as the season evolves and changes.
Yeah, I think sweater dresses are it's definitely something that I love them because you can just I work from home so much that it's nice to be able to just throw something on and not feel like you're in sweatpants
Right.
and yet be super, super cozy.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a fan in the summertime of like a kind of like smock dress or caftan or a slip dress or something like that, to me, the wintertime equivalent of that kind of like throw on effortlessness is the sweater dress.
Yeah. And it looks so great with boots.
I love like a knee-high boot and a sweater dress.
Yes. All right. Well, let me recap our 5 strategies for you. You can make a party top in a festive fabric instead of making a full dress. You can create a matching set that you can then separate later. You can use removable details for instant festivity. You can embrace the timeless appeal of a little black dress and consider the comfort and versatility of a luxe sweater dress. So my big takeaway is that this approach really embodies what we talk about when we say design your wardrobe. Instead of just making something for one specific moment, we're thinking strategically about how each piece is going to work with our overall wardrobe. And it just makes every hour that we spend sewing feel so much more worthwhile. What about you, Haley? What's your takeaway?
I think that my takeaway is that when we spend time in the design process and like really thinking through each individual garment, I feel like we make less misses and we take more time to consider like the what you want out of the garment. Like sometimes you want something that you can just wear one off, and there's like nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes we have these like abstract ideas of like, oh yeah, I'm going to totally wear this again without really considering like the how behind it. And the benefit of using like having a more thoughtful design process, like design your wardrobe, is that it forces you to slow down and consider the how, so that you don't end up like me making a bunch of one-off things when that maybe isn't your intention. So really just like slowing down and taking time in the design process, instead of like panic sewing a new holiday dress 2 nights before the event.
All right. Well, speaking of creating versatile pieces that you'll love wearing, I'm really excited to tell you about our 2 newest patterns that we just released, which are Palm and Ivy. So these are perfect examples of garments that can work beautifully for holiday occasions, but then transition seamlessly into your everyday wardrobe. So let me tell you a little bit about them. Palm is a semi-fitted knit dress with the most gorgeous gathered sleeves. It has this body skimming fit with princess seams that's so flattering, and those puff sleeves finish just above the elbow and give it such a romantic feel. The round neckline is finished with a facing that attaches right to the princess seam for a really clean finish. So you could make this in a rich burgundy or emerald knit for the holidays, but it would be equally beautiful in a classic navy or a black that you'd wear all year. I'm really excited about this dress. It looks so comfy at the same time as being really elegant. And then Ivy is this amazing unlined jacket with a detachable scarf collar that I'm completely obsessed with. So it has this relaxed, straight cut with dropped shoulders, and all the edges are finished with beautiful bound binding. And the toggle closure gives it a lot of character. And that rectangular scarf attaches with a button and loop closure, so you can completely change the look depending on whether you wear it with or without the collar, which I'm really excited about this one too.
It's so cute. I'm excited too.
Yeah, it's such a good use of so many of the wools that I've hoarded for so long. And there's a lot you can do with it to mix it up too. So both of these patterns are available now for Seamwork members, and they're perfect for creating those versatile holiday pieces that we've been talking about. All right. Well, if you like this episode, we would love it if you could leave us a review. Your reviews really help other people to find the show. So if you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this, we would really appreciate it. You can also follow us on YouTube at Seamwork Video. You can follow us on Instagram at Seamwork. And if you'd like to become part of the Seamwork community, head over to seamwork.com to learn how to join, and you'll get those 2 new patterns absolutely free and instantly. All right, I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio.